Welcome to today's coaching call. I am Kristy. I'm one of the mentors here at Wize Mentoring, and I am your host. Today, we're talking about the daily huddle. Now, I remember when I first joined Wize, 5 years ago now, and I was in our one-on-one program with Thomas, and he was going through my action items, and we got to the daily huddle as something to implement. And I was like, Thomas, how am I going to find time to meet with my team every day? It's hard enough to meet with them once a week. You are crazy. So I was a little bit of a middle adopter and resistant for a month or two. We did discuss it in more than one board meeting. But then I finally, okay, you have to implement, do the things, they work. So I implemented the daily huddle, and annoyingly, it changed my life. And I had to say to Thomas at the next meeting, you were right, it's great. So it's really important that not only do you implement every one of the 101 steps, because they do work, but you do make the time for the daily huddles, because it actually gave me back more time. There were less questions throughout the week. I was chasing up less things throughout the week because I knew exactly what my team were working on. We could unblock the blockages quickly in the meeting, or we could have a follow-up together. So it's a really critical one. It might seem simple, might seem unnecessary to do as frequently, but it really helps everyone stay on task. We have a bookkeeping firm, so sometimes we have very repetitive things every day and every week, but it's important to ensure that the team are clear on their priorities. So 3 very simple questions to have each person speak to. What jobs are you working on today? What will you finalize or what will you complete today? And what are you stuck on? So the first one, what are you working on? So you understand what jobs are going through the pipeline, and then what will be finalized. That helps your production manager and client managers know what work they will have to review. And then what are you stuck on? If it's quick to unblock and it's a quick thing to just clear in the meeting, it's good to just keep things moving. But if it sounds like it needs a little bit more conversation, that can either be taken into a follow-up meeting, which we have adorably coined a very Aussie term, the pub meeting, the production unblocking meeting. It's not go to the pub and have a beer. It's actually have a meeting with the team who are stuck on things and ensure that the production line keeps on flowing. We want to make sure that whoever is hosting the daily huddle keeps things on track. You only want it to be 10 to 15 minutes. You don't want it to become a waffle and a whiffle. You want it to be very short, concise, and everyone stay focused. In the past, we've had team members seem less engaged, where you can tell that they're working on things because you get notifications after the meeting of comments on work and things. That's not really fair to everyone in the meeting. So we've addressed that with our team of reminding them that when you're in a meeting, much like here, wherever possible, that you're focused and you're contributing, you're ready, because there may be, in those daily huddles, there may be something that another team member can help with, that they've faced themselves, particularly when it comes to what are you stuck on. Maybe a colleague has already figured that out, so they could help. So keeping them on task. You may choose to have your team share on the screen the workflow details of what they're working on to see the priorities, and then you can move things around. We don't expect our production team members to be able to consider all of the different priorities of things. So can also be really useful when you hear a production person listing 5 or 6 things that they're working on today and feel like, oh, that's a bit overwhelming. Gives the production manager the opportunity, or client manager, to say, that job can wait till tomorrow because I need these other ones done today, or that's not a high priority, that can wait till Friday. So again, it just keeps things flowing through the pipeline and allows the team to know exactly what they need to get done and have that rhythm and routine. There's not really too much more to say on the daily huddle because you just need to do it. But to also remind you of resources that we have in our Wize Vault, soon to be located in the Wize Hub. Selena, you're amazing. Is we have a resource for those of you that use Carbon in your firms. You can even set up a work item in Carbon to use for your daily huddle. Some team members like to have that functionality. They like to have a system, a software to use for it. And we've also got tools and resources on the Daily Huddle to remind you of these 3 questions to ask. Something I brought into my team as I started to withdraw was we put a note into Carbon at the end of our daily huddles with a Loom video of the meeting, and then my admin documents the 3 priorities for each person. And at the end of each day or the beginning of the next, the team members are responsible for commenting back on that task, what they completed or where they got stuck. So then it gives me visibility across how the team is flowing and working when I'm not there every day. I thankfully don't have to go to the daily huddles anymore, which is great, but I did for a long time. I then was able to sit back and let someone else host, and we now have a rotation. So my senior and assistant client managers host 2 days a week, and then the production manager hosts 1 day a week. And that's just sort of helped change up the pace of those meetings as well, because a lot of our work is repetitive and can be a bit boring. And even the daily huddles can get a little bit stagnant where, you just feel like it's become by rote that you hear the same things from the same people day in, day out. So we've changed it up a bit by having a different person host and bring their flavour to it. So Helen, when she hosts on a Monday, she gets the joy of hearing how everyone's weekend was. And Sue, when she hosts on a Friday, gets to send everyone off for their weekend and hear what their plans are. So it just allows a little bit of that casualness as well. It was interesting. I was looking at a wheel of life response for a team member of one of the firms that I mentor yesterday. And one of the things that scored really low was their connection to the team. They felt quite isolated, and they made a comment that they find it difficult not being in the office with their colleagues. I'm a fully remote firm, so none of my team have ever been in the office with each other. So we've had to work really hard on building that relationship and rapport with each other in a remote world. And the daily huddles form part of that as well. Before we had the daily huddles, sometimes team members wouldn't see each other for a week because they only met once a week. By having that light touch each day as well, just builds that relationship up. You hear little snippets of how someone's going. Your emotional intelligence gets to see if someone's having a bit of a flat day. You might check in on them a little bit more. So beyond keeping the production work flowing, it also allows you to have that strength of culture within your teams as well. Mina, I'd love to know if you remember what it was like before daily huddles and after daily huddles. Probably going back a while for you. You've been around a while.
We thought it was impossible at the time when it was raised, that it just simply couldn't be done. It wouldn't be done. And then now it's being done every day. And if it were to go away, I don't think we could function without it.
Love it. Couldn't have put it better myself. That's really great. Marlene, I'd love to hear how it's changed things for you in your team, having the daily huddle in place.
It allows me to actually all of us to keep better track of where we are with production and to set clearer priorities. And it makes it easier for us to hit our targets and our deadlines because we're actually reviewing things daily instead of less frequently. Just better communication, better keeping track of things.
Justin, be great to hear from you if you've got the daily huddles happening consistently and how you found it. Do you do anything a little bit different in yours?
I've just come back a month leave, and
right.
I've noticed the huddles aren't being done as often. I still sort of chair the huddle at the moment while we grow the accounting team, but I certainly find them super helpful to keep everyone on track, especially if we don't have people in the office. We're still operating a bit of a hybrid model. We've probably got half our production team in the office and half at home, and I find that it definitely keeps our offshore team and our team working from home more engaged and on track. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. And in your team structure, do you have a client manager or a production manager?
I have a production manager. I am still the client manager, unfortunately. Hopefully, I won't be saying the same thing in about 6 months' time. So we're getting there. We're just growing the team at the moment.
Yeah, cool. Exciting. So have you got your production manager leading the meetings when you're not on leave to get them to really commit to it?
that was the idea. And I had a couple of conversations with her while I was away, but she was sort of struggling with she was taking a lot of my responsibility while I was away.
Yeah.
As the client manager as well. So she was finding it difficult. She did say to me, look, I'm really only getting to them every second day. So I've come back from leave. She's gone on leave. I'll catch up with her. Yeah, exactly. She's back later this week. So
yeah,
we will sort of restart the process again.
It's really important to have team buy-in and to be consistent. And I know for me, before I had other team members I could delegate it to, I had to make it work every single day to lead from the front. And now I can lead from the back because my team have got it in hand. So even something to consider when you're unpacking it with your production manager when they're back, it allows more calm in the chaos. Even though you think it's too hard to honor a 10 to 15-minute meeting, when you're carrying the load of client manager and production manager, it's even more vital to have that very quick touch base with the team so that you know exactly what's coming and you know your calendar, you know the meetings that are coming up, and you can drive the team to help you meet those. When you move out into the silo model of not meeting every day, that's when it becomes more chaotic. So it'd be a good lesson for them to learn.